In this episode, we'll talk about this big boat that Tom has been living already since 2008. And if you want to see the full tour and know about a bit more about the interior, you can find it in the second video.
So this is a Riso. It's like a Japanese printer, something in between a silk screen and a duplicator. It works with drums. So this is a machine from the early 90s. This is a machine from the late 80s, I think. So as you can see,
Wow.
you have like these drums inside.
And you still can refill them somewhere.
Yeah, of course. These are the ink cartridges. So you work with spot colors, and you put layer on top of layer on top of layer. So I can recreate any photographical images by digitally separate my color layers. So I can create a color layer for cyan, for magenta, for yellow, and for black. And when I print those 4 colors on top of each other, I can recreate every full color image digitally with the Riso machine.
Oh.
This one is even older. I got a thing with old machines and old stuff apparently, but
Apparently they were built not to break.
yeah, indeed. So this is the A4 machine. This is the A3 machine.
Ah, it's the same idea, it's just
Yeah, the same idea, the
different
same function,
Yeah.
but indeed same different size in printing.
Yeah.
This is a small photo studio. So if you have prints that are done, you can shoot them here. A small photo printer for silk screening shirts. So last week we were printing with some hardcore DJ Glum Glum.
You have like online that people can order the prints, like they do digital prints and
No.
okay.
They have to. No, it's not that we have like this shop.
Yeah.
It's more like connected or
Okay.
we know kind of thing. This is the lithography press we use for printing with stones, but we're still renovating it. So I can draw on these stones, and then I can prepare them by using a mixture of gum arabic and ferric acid, and then the greasy material sinks in the stone, and then I can prepare it. Then it gets. I have to keep the stone wet, and then I'll ink it up with oil-based inks, and then everywhere I draw, the image will accept the ink, push away the water, and then I can print prints by using stones.
Okay.
Okay.
But this is not what this is doing with this one.
This is with the silk screening. So with
Yeah.
silk screening, you just got like this frame,
Yeah.
and then on top of the frame, you got like this mesh. It's like a small thread.
Yeah.
It looks like this. And then on top of this, we coat it with a light-sensitive emulsion, UV light-sensitive emulsion. And then I can burn images with the UV exposure unit. I can burn images into the emulsion. And then you have things like this. So this is the old logo of the ship.
Yeah.
And then I can print this on my own shirt or on your shirt
Okay.
or on paper or on whatever I want to print it. I can push ink through the screen
Slide
on top
it,
of several carriers.
Cool.
Okay, yeah, there used to be the toilets for the party people. The DJ booth used to be over there. The big engine is over here.
Oh, wow, that's another room there.
Those are my starting batteries.
Yeah.
Those are my solar, I'm not sure how to translate it, the blue.
And PPT.
Yeah, and then the green one is for filling up the battery. So the generator now is running and filling up my battery set. And this is the big Caterpillar engine. And indeed, it has like 360 horsepower.
And it's original.
It's original.
Still from 19...
No. It will be. I think it's original since I bought it. I never replaced the engine.
But you think they replaced it already?
I think in the 70s they replaced it. In the 80s it's been how do you call it? Reconverted, renewed, and then I've been using it since then.
Yeah, but then you don't run it so much as they used to run a lot.
No. So this is the battery set.
This is the inverter. 5 kilowatt you have on 24 volts.
Batteries are here.
Here are the batteries. Okay. When you're stationary, you have to bring diesel as well by yourself.
Yeah, but then no. Then I just call a company and they deliver it.
And then you fill it up full
Yeah,
tank.
yeah.
Okay.
And then I buy 2,000 liters.
Yeah.
and I hope I will not be seeing them again for for quite a while.
And then your
Though,
bank account is broke.
Indeed. When I started at Roman 16 years ago in 2008, I bought 1,000 liters of gasoline for let's say 330 euros.
Wow.
Nowadays you pay like 1,200 euros, and
Yeah.
then you're happy it's only 1,200 euros.
You should have bought one more ship just to fill it up full.
Indeed. But I think in 2000, what was it? I think 2018, 2019, we paid like almost 1,700 euro for 1,000 liter. It was insane.
Yeah.
Then you're ashamed to turn on the generator, or you're ashamed to turn on the heating. Yeah.
Yeah, that's times right now. But it's still much cheaper than to live in an apartment or in a house.
You think this is cheaper than living in an apartment? No. I'm afraid not.
No.
I was so hoping it would be, but I think no, I don't think so.
Because of engine maintenance?
Engine maintenance.
And you have to paint
the amount of paint I put on this summer on this ship is insane. Yeah, I think I spent at least, no joke, I think 70, 80 liters just on white paint to keep the rust under control and things like. No,
so you had to lift it out?
No, that's something we do every 5 years. Every 5 years you have to go to a dry dock, and then they have a look at the bottom of your ship, and then they measure the thickness of your steel, and if it's less than 7 millimeters, you have to re-thicken it, and then it's also pretty expensive.
So then they weld on top.
They weld indeed. So first thing they do, you drive into the dock. They pump away the water, so your ship is standing on these concrete poles, and then you can look underneath the ship. They power wash away all the muscles and things like that, and then they inspect the steel on the thickness. And if it's less than 7 millimeters, you have to weld another piece onto it, or in the baddest case, they have to take a piece out and weld it.
Well, I think in 100 years it have been completely new, rewelded.
To be honest, Roman, I think the whole bottom of the ship, since I own it, has practically been renewed. I think indeed that this ship will be good for at least another. I think my grandchildren are still going to have fun with this thing. I hope they're going to have fun with this thing. Yeah. So indeed, I think that the whole sides are nearly renewed, and the whole bottom of the ship as well. Yeah. So I'm pretty sure I'm good for another, let's say, 70, 80 years for sure. Yeah.
So yeah, all this maintenance costs a bit.
It costs a bit, but indeed, then it's also it costs a bit, but you sleep good at night. It's a bit worrying not knowing if your bottom of your ship is solid enough to hold the ship, you know what I mean? I don't want to wake up in the middle of the night with water running on my ankles, or you know what I mean? So I think it's just for the ease of mind, or the peace of mind. It's also very good to have these dry docks. It's a bit slippery. That's the downside of owning a ship in the winter months. You have all these algae, and it's getting moist.
And you have to wash it all.
Yeah, indeed. So the annual summer clean is insane.
If you're alone, you need many people.
Yeah, you do a barbecue, eh?
And here is the heart.
Indeed. So that generator, winter time. I think when it's really cold and the batteries are really cold as well, the CC and either two times a day.
But engine is like not 100 years old, no?
This?
Yeah.
No. Thank God for that.
But that's another thing. You have to I mean, you have to change engine time to time.
Yes, but I've been doing this for 16 years now, and this is the second generator I need.
Okay.
So they're.
So this is for batteries?
Yeah.
And for pushing sidewise as well, or it's a different one?
It's a different engine. That's the engine for pushing sidewise.
Okay.
You see it? It's a big DAF.
Yeah. Oh, it's Dutch?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you ever count how much yearly it costs, like this insurance and all this stuff? Like,
I think I pay monthly insurance another 100 euro a month.
Yeah.
And then a dry dock, let's say, I keep aside, let's say 1,500 euro a year for the dry dock.
in 5 years.
Yeah, yeah.
But
So
this is maintained,
yeah.
not just checkup.
No, it's with
Yeah,
it's with the welding and everything,
yeah,
eh?
yeah.
Just one day in the dry dock will cost you €500.
Yeah,
So the moment you pass in the lock and they start pumping it out, you're losing €500 a day.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then so it's like 200 something a month, and then plus the gasoline
Yeah.
in
In the winter months.
split it through all year. It's another probably €100 per.
A month?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I think 100 is a bit much. Let's say 70, something like that.
Yeah, so it's 300, and it's just mandatory things.
Yeah, yeah.
300 a month, and then comes the rest.
Yeah.
And back in the days, I guess in 2008, it was
Yeah.
not so expensive to buy this ship as well, no?
No, indeed. I bought it. I'm allowed to say it.
Yeah,
I bought it for €75,000.
yeah, yeah. Nowadays,
And then back in the days, the steel prices were also very good.
yeah,
So if it completely failed, I could just sell it for old metal, and I would have lots
Right.
of the money back.
you just get for
Yeah.
metal money
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
And nowadays, I guess such a ship is like crazy amount of money, no? If
This?
yeah,
Yeah, you would be surprised.
yeah.
The ships aren't that expensive, in my opinion.
Oh, really?
What's
Cargo ships.
No. I mean the problem is with the addresses, the places to
Yeah.
moor your ship.
Yeah.
Those are expensive.
Yeah,
So that's a bit of a dirty play, in my opinion, that they sell ships with a fixed spot in a city or nearby a city, and that's what makes the prices so high. If you buy a ship that's moving, like this one, the prices are, in my opinion, reasonable.
is it still under 100 or
No,
no? It's above.
it's above 200, but
Above 200.
you can find them underneath 300 easily.
But it's already built out. It's
Yeah,
not cargo
yeah,
ship.
yeah. If you want to buy now a cargo ship to convert, indeed, you find them under 100,000 euro.
Okay,
Yeah.
you still can find it.
Yeah,
Okay.
indeed. Especially the smaller ones, the Spitz. It's 38 meters in length and 5 meters in wide.
Oh,
You
that's
found-
tiny.
They're tiny. You find them indeed underneath 100,000 easily.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
very easily.
Yeah. So it's still doable even today.
Yes,
then-
yes, indeed. But you'll need a special heart to do it, because
Of course.
indeed the government doesn't like people living on boats, just like they don't like people living in tiny houses or
No,
do
or vans.
or in vans or
Yeah.
any other alternative
No.
things.
No.
So it is a bit hard to find your means with the governments and cities and things like that.
Yeah. I guess the more you are on the go, on the move, then
the
easier
more
it
you
is.
move, the less
problems you
the
have.
less problems you have indeed.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's another one of the reasons why I'll be happy to leave the city again in January.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
it's time to
So what you would say, like if someone considering about this, what would be the minimum to count on if you don't count that something can break down or whatever?
the minimum, you mean?
Yeah, a month's expense, like 300 to 500 euros. Like you have to count on like how much money you will be spending monthly.
But you mean with the conversion?
No.
Okay,
It's just
just-
you both converted or you will convert yourself from recycled materials. When you, but
And
the minimum amount that will take is insurance, is this 5 years control,
Yeah.
and yeah,
The younger the ship is, the less indeed money you'll spend during those 5 years with the dry dock. Of course,
yeah.
if your bottom is very good, then you're solid for let's say another 30 years. If you buy an old ship like I did, you know you're gonna have some work to do with the bottom of the ship. But nowadays, I think indeed with the ship with the Kempenaar, which is 50 meters in length and 6.5 meters in wide, I think indeed 350
it's a bare
in
minimum.
an average.
Yeah.
Yeah. Converted into the 12 months, I think indeed the basic cost will be around 350. I think, yeah. So
Which is
you live very cheap in the summertime,
yeah,
and you live very expensive in the winter.
yeah.
Yeah. So this crane you can use for putting your car on top of your ship.
Oh, nice.
So it can lift up I think 1,200 kilos.
And the moving, like, what are expenses like to move it? Like, How much?
It depends on the current. If you're going with the current or against the current. So if you're on a river and then you have to work with the tides, and then of course keep an eye on the when you're leaving and when you're going. But if you're going against the tide, this ship drinks, I think, approximately 22 up to 30 liters an hour.
Oh, it's not so
It's
bad.
doable.
It goes, if you go against, is it like 10 kilometers per hour or?
Yeah, let's say 10 to 8 kilometers an hour. Depends on the wind as well.
Yeah.
You go slow.
Yeah.
You see these people with the gray hair passing you by on their bike. It's kind of frustrating. But indeed, if you go with the current, I think we spend like 10 liters, 12 liters.
Yeah.
If you flow along with the river, it's very relaxed. It's very easy.
But it's all right. You
all right.
you don't do road trips.
It's surprisingly how not much gasoline she consumes an hour if you're just on the canal.
Yeah.
I think let's say 15 liters max. Depends on how fast you go, of course. Yeah.
About the weight, is there something kind of limits or minimum weight?
Yes, I know when I bought the ship. So the concrete floor you're seeing here is 24,000 kilograms, and it made me sink like 12 centimeters. So per 1,000 kilograms I bring on board, the ship sinks another half a centimeter.
Yeah.
So the 24,000 kilograms this floor weighs made us sink like this big.
So if you drive truck on it, it will sink 10 centimeters.
Well, I don't think it will even notice the truck. The thing you have to keep in mind is that you don't put your windows too low.
Yeah.
If the height from the canal and your windows is less than 30 centimeters, the government will slap you. Yeah, no, then you're in trouble.
So it's dangerous that
Yeah,
the
it's
water
dangerous
spills.
because then when the ship starts mooring a bit and your windows are too close to the canal, the water comes in and at some point you just flip over and sink.
But does it more, like in canal? Like, is it possible?
Yeah, indeed. During heavy storms, you'll be surprised how hard you can smack against.
Because now we are completely stable. Like
completely stable. Yeah, but indeed, when you're on a busy canal, and now we're in the city in Ghent, it's maxi relaxy. But when you're on the big canal, Albert Canal, something like that, the European highways on the canals, and a ship of let's say 130 meter with 10 meters in wide passes you by. 2 meters from you, they suck all the water underneath of your ship, and then when they pass by, all the water comes up and you start smashing against the walls. No, you do more a lot.
Okay.
The first hangovers on this ship I will never forget, to be honest. You're as sick as a dog.
So now we are like in the lowest part of the ship, and how much is below?
I think another 40 centimeters, something like that.
Okay, not so much.
Yeah, not so much.
So that's why I was asking. They're made for canals. They're not so deep.
Yeah. So they're flat underneath. So it's not like the ship is going like this. The ship is going like this.
All right. Thanks for watching. Let us know what you leave on such a huge boat, and see you the next one. Cheers.